Why do people gravitate towards each other? Why do they need relationships? Remember, yes, in childhood, those moments where you played, yes, you played the game, played cool, everything worked out for you. If no one is watching, the feeling, yes, becomes 3 times lower, 4 times lower. That is the requirement for your success to be observed or failure to be observed. The requirement for surveillance has been present in your life since childhood. This is because the internal aspect of any individual is affirmed through the personality of another person who is observing them, providing validation and a sense of being watched. Other people's opinion is important. Important attention from others. It is important to have someone nearby. In fact, it is a completely natural phenomenon. It originates from childhood, from a very early age, and is something that every individual instinctively fosters in various ways. It's evident we strive to distance ourselves from others' opinions. We strive there, but I don't care about their thoughts. Important. It is important to every person. One thing, of course, it can already go into pathology when a person thinks too much about what other people think of him. We are discussing the fact that essentially an individual requires the attention of another person. This foreign attention confirms to him himself his own, justifies his actions, or on the contrary, condemns his choices and validates his beliefs. And depending on the attention of another person, it is similar to a pillar that you can grasp, that you can rely on for support. In this world of abstractions, which in principle is in the mind, especially a child who has not yet been able to assemble his own reality, has not yet been able to assemble his basic templates. Therefore, buddies, each and every one of us necessitates the attention of another individual. If you take a look at it from the perspective that a child craves attention and understand that attention is a specific key to the movement of energy, where there is attention, there is qi. Where there is qi, there is blood. Basic postulates of Qigong. Accordingly, by moving your breath and attention inside your body, you move energy, you move blood. Establish communication with your vessels, establish communication with your cells. The better the consciousness is connected to the body, the stronger the sensation becomes, and the more the effect will be confirmed by the medical machines. These machines will indicate that the heating process has started, the movement has commenced, and the biochemical processes have significantly increased. Metabolism in cells and so on, where human attention is present, where the area of the body with which he is currently working. And here is the same. So we see that old people unconsciously attract attention to themselves because they feel food in it, they feel energy in it. Yes, this is a kind of vampirism, spontaneous vampirism, capturing attention, the process of capturing attention, the process of working with it, bright colors, some manipulations, gestures, voice, something else. That is, anything and everything uses the psyche, uses a person in order to capture attention. More attention, more energy. Already the question of the quality of this energy, the quality of attention, the ability of a person to transform this attention into personal power, into their own energy, these are already details of a person on the path of self-development. These are already the details of a person involved in energy, who has understood something, created protective shells, filters, and transforming programs. In the ordinary sense, everything is simple. One is stronger, the other is weaker. The louder one was heard by the weaker. And he did. If we look at it in principle, I remember some things from my childhood. There was a big family, many people, how we lived there in a communal apartment and so on. Remembering, yes, the interaction of people, I can definitely say that people strongly divide and arrange themselves hierarchically. Just naturally and naturally. Those who have power, everyone talks about them, both bad and good, they gossip and so on. That's attention. If a person has the power to transform attention, the person continues to grow. As soon as he cannot process this attention begins to undermine him under a mass image, under the image that is imposed on a person. Why do we need someone else's attention? Why do we need another person? Friends, this, in my view, is a natural phenomenon. This is an entirely normal and common phenomenon. As social creatures, we have an inherent need for human connection and interaction. Yes, it is evident that technology has advanced at present. It is evident that the comprehension of an individual, his own, so to speak, mental space has made significant progress. At present, there are numerous hypnosis techniques, different self-training techniques, psychotherapy, art therapy, and so forth. That is, those elements, those things that have an impact on us, our consciousness, individuals utilize and more utilize them in an unethical way, with the key objective of influencing a person through direct suggestion of various other belief systems and manipulating their thoughts and actions for personal gain. These things need to be studied, you need to know them, just so that when it is used on you, you see, yes, and already these flags, these markers, they do not penetrate your subconscious. Accordingly, it no longer works on you. Yes, as soon as you notice this technique on yourself, the fact that you noticed it already does not allow certain barriers of your consciousness to pass. Accordingly, if you still have strength, the influence on you will be minimal, while another person can really be turned into a zombie and they will do anything. I believe these things are important, they need to be studied, one needs to develop in this regard and of course understand how attention affects the attention of the person who is next to you, with whom you reside, with whom you communicate, with whom you consistently interact, has an impact. Here, in fact, is the maximum grip. Here, in fact, are the most powerful persuasion programs. So you can see them, you cannot see them, but in reality, that's exactly how everything is arranged. In fact, there is no democracy at all. There is always a leader and a follower. If you think there is democracy there, it means you have such a strong influence that you think you have democracy. In reality, there is no democracy within the family. Most frequently, the purportedly weak side discusses democracy, but in actuality, it is a strong side. That is, power is concealed. It merely shifts to wherever the location of democracy is convenient. In my opinion, it is very important how a person understands relationships in general, understands the structure of their own world, and the influence on this world from the outside, the influence on this world from other people, and from a close person who is truly needed and necessary for each of us. I believe that if a person's potentials in the chakras are properly aligned and the chakra structure itself is in place, a person will never be alone. Yes, the quality of relationships can change, but it is impossible for a person to be alone. If an individual is alone and in distress, seeking a soulmate but unable to find one, it indicates the presence of an energetic disturbance. It is most likely the second, first chakra, possibly the fifth, fourth, and potentially the sixth chakra. Here everyone is different, and we need to examine specifically what's happening with this person we desire. Figure it out. Just as it is important for a child to have the game he plays, for someone from the outside, preferably dad or mom, to watch his game, participate with him in this game, and appreciate how cool and awesome it is. In the world of adults, each and every person is also in search of a partner who would truly understand and appreciate their inner essence and unique qualities, which would acknowledge the subtle mechanisms within it, which it constructed on its own. Then a sense of satisfaction is attained. This is like understanding your soul. And on the contrary, it turns out that now the trend is moving towards fast sex, but the soul is not understood. And this is an issue. So sex without problems is accessible, but communication doesn't function anymore because there is no one to communicate with. Another individual, templates, filters, and in reality, to disclose themselves in order to demonstrate the internal mechanisms of their soul, their personality, and to present them in a manner that is also comprehended, accepted, and brings satisfaction. Yes, certainly, I am convinced that this is the objective of every individual who is aware of their actions. First of all, arrange yourself in such a way that you are not ashamed to show your inner world. Secondly, in order to locate an individual with such ideas, with such conceptual frameworks, with such internal structure of their own, with such consciousness of their own, where an individual can perceive and understand your inner world on a deep and profound level, and appreciate it properly. Here's what I desire for each and every one of you, my dear friends. a sense of profound inner satisfaction in the relationship with your partner, expand and evolve, illumination and affection. Farewell to all.